back.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We are back. Classic. We are back. Yes, we are back.
We have Giants football back in a little bit with the preseason matchup coming up here versus the Buffalo Bills, but everyone coming back on year 4 of the channel. Although it is a preseason game, I do want to do more live streams this season. We got into a lot of them last year, which I thought went really well. I actually really enjoyed them more than doing just regular videos because there's way less editing. There's way less thoughts. I like just winging it and having conversation with all of you fun people that do join in. So if you're coming back for year 4, or if this is your first time and you're new and joining the Average Bob Army, Average Bob Nation, then, we're glad to have you. One thing that I do want to touch on is that I really haven't been on social media much, but we did get our X account going, or the old Twitter, the old Xer. So if you could follow me on that, would really appreciate it. Trying to get some more followers there to just be able to connect with people. As the season progresses, just outside of traditional game days when I would either be live streaming or do their highlights and reactions after. So being able to be on social media and X and post more feeling or thoughts and funny memes and content and stuff, that's where you'll be able to find me and follow me now. So looking forward to that. And yeah, I mean, people have always been like, go on Instagram, do that. It's like, I don't think a lot of my content is really super clippable for short formats. And a lot of work goes into that. If you look at some of the top Giant creators on Instagram or YouTube shorts that are pumping out shorts, like, you're taking a 45-minute, hour-long podcast that they're doing multiple times a week and condensing that into the most clippable part, and then putting either videos or subtitles and text on top of it. So that takes a lot of work, which currently we don't have the bandwidth for, and even less bandwidth. So, adding our 5-month-old draft pick into the family. So there's a lot less time and availability than I've had previously to spend, going into new world stuff of other various social media, and stuff along those lines. So let's see, we'll get the live chat popped off, see if anyone joins here. I am trying to stream on a vertical format, which I heard is a little bit more helpful. Lighting turned on. Oh, what did I... Oh, turn... Just playing around with this more because this is preseason for us too. I wish I had a little bit of a better, just like right here, so you're with me on it, instead of just being down at a ridiculous angle. But so yeah, we've had a lot to talk about. The preseason has been humming along. And the Giants are actually getting good buzz in their preseason camp and everything that's happened so far, which has been the last few years. It's kind of been like Daniel Jones throws the ball into the ground on the right side of the field. Daniel Jones throws the ball into the left side of the field. Daniel Jones throws an interception to our 4th-string linebacker. And then people get all pissed off when, next thing you know, we're 2-14 as the season's going along. So, as much as the hatred that I've seen on X towards Daniel Jones starting for the Colts the other night, I guess, is warranted by some Giants fans, I'm just glad that it seems like we've turned to a new start here in, having him off the team now. Saquon obviously had his amazing year last season, but, we're a couple of years removed from that now, so it shouldn't be like something that's always coming up in conversation. At least for, players on the team, it should be a new culture. Investing in Jaxson Dart at the end of the first round, but not really drafting him where they took Abdul Carter at 3 overall, I think was, absolutely genius because now, this is Russell Wilson's team to start. Let's see how they go. They have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. And Dable has his, work cut out for him. And I'm very interested to see because at the end of last year, if you guys were with me, you saw I got into it like, don't want Schoen back, don't want Dable back. I thought that they had more than enough time to figure it out. They made a huge mistake by extending Daniel Jones, and they still haven't made up for it yet. But hopefully by getting Dart and hold on, my production assistant is over here trying to help out. So let's see if this helps us out a little bit. Oh, and then you got Touchdown Penny in the background right there. Maybe she'll join in for a little bit. Much better. Shout out to the production team on that one, just enhancing our scale. Maybe this will be how we'll do it, just so you guys could see my. Actually, hold on. Show you my view of how we have our TV set up here. Just be right there. There's my guy Bob Papa and Carl Banks, the voices of WFAN Giants Radio. Yeah, so honestly, I'm pretty pumped for this season to start. And, going back to what I was just talking about with all the preseason games over the years, I didn't really care. It's like, it's preseason. Let the backups play. But this means so much more. You're going to get a first look at Abdul Carter. You're going to get really seeing what could potentially be this offensive line minus Andrew Thomas, which needs a lot of reps. So let's see if let's just enjoy the reps that they're going to get today. Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. I'm not really sure about the wide receiver core, but you're going to see Russell Wilson take his first snaps for the Giants. This is a pivotal turning point for New York Giants culture. And I'm here for it. I'm pumped. For so many years, just these preseason games just didn't matter, is my point. And now we're looking at a new look team as they progress into the future, which is something, we haven't had the ability to do in quite some time. So, yeah, so now that I'm back and my head is just always buried in X now, did see my boy license plate guy post from the sideline that Thibodeau was already talking with the trainers about, looked like to be like a minor injury or something. So classic. Hopefully this isn't like the Mets that time where the Mets had Wheeler, Steven Matz, DeGrom, Bartolo, and was it Harvey or Syndergaard? And they always just all got hurt and you can never see anyone play together, right? Where for these guys on the Giants D line between Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, like we need these guys to be as healthy as possible. For the Giants to have any success this year, they have to be intact. They have to be intact. They have to be healthy as they can be. And that's what's crazy. What I was thinking about, just a random side point about just injuries in general. How ridiculous they are. Because it's like, just the fact that they want to add more games to a schedule for NFL teams and players to play in is just crazy to me at this point. Like, these guys can barely get through a full season and they want to add more games, and you guys got going to Europe. Like, if they add more games, they'd have to add another bye week or something for guys to get healthy, because it's just so much. And I guess that's why you're seeing now the league has recognized it a little bit in some regard. You really get one practice a day. You're also taking away a preseason game where, let's be honest, for so many years, that fourth preseason game was just guys that were all going to get cut anyway. Maybe one guy would make a practice squad. But yeah, let's go. Giants coming out to the field. I know it's not real football, but it feels different this time around. So let's go. I mean, I wonder, I'm just going to see Russell Wilson under center. this seems like a whole different. I don't know. Feels like stuff is changing, which is good. And Evan Neal can't go today, which is tough for him. Because Evan and Neal is a guy who's been in the league a couple years now, was drafted very highly to play offensive tackle. Now he's coming back into the fold at guard, which, you know me, I've done multiple videos about Evan Neal. Really wanted him to be as successful as possible. I thought he would be after coming out of Alabama, being an All-American, starting every single game for like 4 years, being 6'7", being 320 pounds. Like, he had the prototype body. And for whatever reason, the body wasn't holding up, but also the athletic ability wasn't there as well. So then you had to see Evan Neal kind of check his own ego, which is something a lot of these guys couldn't do. Eric Flowers could never do it, going back to the well there, till he left. And then, I think the Commanders, or, the Redskins at the time, moved him to guard, and he was able to find some success there. So I'm glad the Giants and both parties weren't as stubborn to make it work at tackle if it was never going to work. But that's what we've needed, and we've tried to invest in over the years. It was a bookend tackle between Eric Flowers. Nate Solder was the highest paid offensive tackle in the league when he came that time. And then you invest in, a top 10 draft pick in Evan Neal, who everyone had given him rave reviews. There was nothing bad to see there. So until he started playing with the Giants. And then NFL, the athleticism wasn't there, the feet weren't there, and I think the injuries piled up for him too, where he can never get to a point of comfortability to show that he could be like one of these other guys that comes out and starts really well from an offensive line perspective in the league. So Dable on the screen right now. Yeah, looks like he's got a little pouch back on him. I can't really talk too much smack. I got the summer dad bod going full effect, but I know Dable did lose a lot of weight last season, so maybe Dable packing on a little bit more pounds could be a good thing for the Giants, as when he was bigger, they did have a successful season, but everyone from that team's kind of gone now. Just going to grab the remote right here.
Good luck and welcome back.
So I do want to get some volume going. Bruce Beck from CBS 2, he is one of the most positive. I think I could be a little bit of an optimistic person on this platform. But Bruce Beck, my God, he always has a smile on his face and is never in a bad mood and has nothing but good things to say all the time. Giants football coming underway. Let's go. The funky kickoff situation continues to go. And we're back. We got football.
The dynamic kickoff rule going into the end zone, and it will be
Let me see. Live chat.
another Super Bowl champion in Howard Cross.
Hey, Bob, hey, Carl, you guys like to talk about these cool
So,
backs and receivers. I get it, I understand, but the Giants did something really cool.
Howard Cross out there, just an absolute Giants legend.
James Hudson III. This guy is a big guy. He's very
Yeah, they're talking about James Hudson here. He was a signed guy, and this guy, signed veteran, swing tackle. He seems like he's in the mix of all these training camp fights, which I love to see. So this is just like a change of culture. And if he's a change of culture guy and could be there, especially if Andrew Thomas can't play. Let's see, Wilson takes a snap. Checks it down to Tracy, who gets knocked out for about a yard.
6 years of age in his 14th year out of Wisconsin, former third-round pick of Seattle. A 10-time Pro Bowler last year.
10-time Pro Bowl selection. When is the last time the Giants had that? They barely get one. Let me just post a message in the chat box here.
Passing yards in his career, 350 touchdowns. No gain on the last play.
Underhand off to Tracy, gets about 2 or 3 yards here. So we're going to have a look at a 3rd and long. James Hudson, Rudson, John Michael Smith, Greg Van Roten at right. Oh, they messed up right tackle and right guard with the production team. Theo Johnson back after injury. Zach Pascal, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Wandell Robinson.
Concern would not play in the game. Anybody who's healthy will get an opportunity to play here in the first preseason game.
Yeah, I'm pumped for Greg Van Roten. You know,
As Wilson takes the snap.
okay, flicks it down to Tyrone Tracy, makes a man miss and barely gets the first down. The ball does come out at the end. I think he was down though.
He's going to be short of the first down.
They're marking him short, but look from this angle, it's just the way the camera angle looked, but no, his knees are down. He still has the ball there. But Russell Wilson trying to get a little bit creative. I think the offensive line held up pretty well there, but not the best news for the Giants as they go 3-and-out. They're going for a 4th and 1 under center. Russell Wilson.
One back set. Pascal in motion.
Tracy, quick cut, gets the first down. There was some leakage, but 1 yard gain, that's all you need.
What a year he had last year, the 5th round pick out of Purdue.
All right, Tracy out. Who's popping in now? Motor Singletary. It looks hot. They said about 88 degrees up in Buffalo. And you know what? You got Bob Papa and Carl Banks calling this game. These guys know the Giants more than anyone. Little quick, short out route for about 2 yards to Theo Johnson. I am hoping, I do want to see Jaxson Dart play. I might be offline before then, because as you can see, I'm already getting into pool attire, so I have to take the kiddos to the pool. All right, under center. A lot of under center so far to start this game. Play action, looks left. Good throw. Good throw to Wandell. It's nice to see Wandell catch a ball down the field, right? A lot last year of Wandell in the flat, screens to Wandell. Hey, if you joined in the chat, welcome aboard. Hope you're enjoying the game so far, and yeah, feel free to just drop a comment down below. Under center again. Little reverse to 80. He's got the edge a little bit. Bellinger, I think, fell off his block a little bit, but I would like to see Bellinger get involved. You guys know I'm a Bellinger bro. I'm a huge Bellinger fan. So Bellinger had to get to the edge and make a seal block. He got in front of him. This wasn't a terrible block by Bellinger. He got in front of him, but 47 had leverage to the outside and, got off the block and made a tackle after 3 yards. So good play by 47. Wish Bellinger pancaked him because I want Bellinger to play.
Wilson. Theo Johnson.
Okay. Flag down. Little play action to Theo Johnson again, but we're seeing different looks here. I mean, obviously, this is just basic offense that they're running, and they're not going to game plan anything specific. But on this play-action play, it looked like John Michael kind of snapped, then pulled a little bit to the side that Wilson was rolling out to. So, interesting to see a little center pull. Maybe we'll have John Michael doing a little bit more of that this year. Putting together a little bit of a drive here after converting the 4th and 1. Set Chris Manhurts in motion to the top of the screen. 2 tight ends set. And a handoff to Tracy. Moving the chains again here. I think Kafka, so they're discussing Kafka calling the plays. I think he probably should have called more of them last year for sure. I'm not quite sure why Dable called all the plays last season, especially like when it wasn't working. I'm surprised they kept him around. I mean, Wilson rolls out left, kind of like a completely covered Bellinger, makes the catch but tackled immediately.
Last year, Bellinger had just 14 catches.
Bellinger had 14 catches last year.
No touchdowns.
He is a guy that can catch the football. Let's see how the season goes here with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I think he's a valuable asset in the pass game.
Little Jordan Humphrey in the ball game, split to the top of your screen.
Yeah, I wish Bellinger got more of a chance. I don't know why.
Pressure comes when you get a
False start on the Giants coming up. Yeah, you guys know I'm a Bellinger bro. I wish he got more of a shot. 14 catches last year, it's crazy. I feel like. And pre-snap penalty on Hudson, that's going to be something they're going to talk about after this because they had enough. The Giants have enough of a trouble scoring or getting the ball in the end zone and putting up points, but now you're taking a false start in the red zone of all places. Now there's a Pepsi logo on the yardage infographic on the field. I wonder if that's something that they'll... Actually, no, this is just a preseason game on CBS. Another flag down. Another flag against the Giants for holding. All right, 2nd and 25. We're going to get knocked out of field goal range here. Wilson takes a snap, looks left. About 7 yards to Theo Johnson. You're going to have like a 3rd and 17 coming up here. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw just a draw and kick a field goal. Singletary in. Scatabo is not playing. He's had a little bit of a hamstring injury, so I guess that's where the value of Singletary could come into play. If Tracy or Scatabo gets hurt, then whatever. You still have Singletary. Wilson checks down to Singletary, but it looks like it's tipped. Incomplete. And now you're going to have, a 52-yard field goal. Giants drive stalls out because of penalties. And that is what they'll say in the film room is we shot ourselves in the foot. They didn't stop us there. We stopped ourselves. 53-yarder from Graham Gano. And he hits it. All right, well, the Giants come away with points. Probably could have been a little bit more on the opening drive. They did convert. I'm glad they didn't punt it. It's preseason. It's let's just get the reps, get all the live stuff you need to do, in a live environment. 4th and 1s are going to come up during the season, and God knows only one team could do the tush push. So you gotta play smash mouth football, little goal line package, you gotta beat the guy in front of you who's gonna drive each other back. So all in all, Giants strike first, 3-0 as we head into the first commercial break. I guess we can talk about Graham Gano and special teams for a little bit here as he makes the field goal. Gano was a guy last year, he was so weirdly hurt, and he was getting hurt in the beginning of games, and an opening kickoff he would get hurt, and it's how are you getting hurt in an opening kickoff? makes it's almost like comical, but that's how wonky last season was, where guys are getting hurt on opening kickoffs as kickers. It's like, to me, that sounds like a little bit. I don't even know if you're trying to lose games if you're doing stuff like that, or being like just terrible player management. Like, hey, Graham Gano, if you can't kick a ball down the field as a kicker, maybe we should have someone else on this team signed, or give you a week or two off. But those are the decisions that they have to make and didn't make last year, that I would like to see change moving forward. So it looks like the Giants did have another kicker on the roster. So if Graham Gano is at that point where he can't do it anymore, then go with someone else. Or, you just can't have Scottish Hammer come in and be like, oh, I guess I'll start to kick the field goals, yeah? And I don't even know what kind of accent that was, but yeah, we'll kick the field goals better than my people in Scotland kicked out the English for like William Wallace. But I guess that's my point, is we got to have other guys on this team that could do that job. You can't just be like, Hammer, here you go. And then next thing you know, instead of being up, because I think it was the game that screwed us last year. Like, instead of being up 21-0, you're up like 18-0, or you had 18 points instead of 21, and then you could just tell once that starts happening in games that's how you're gonna lose, or it's gonna just come back to bite you in the ass at some point. But 12 plays, 30-yard drive. Oh, I guess because they got pushed back so far. Okay. Bills return it, get to about the 34-yard line. Okay. Looks like a lot of the true starters are playing in this one here. Mitch Trubisky in for the Bills. Immediate pre-snap penalty. Ooh, nice tackle. Is that Micah? Micah McFadden closing in quickly to deliver a blow. Everyone jumping around him. I expect huge things out of Micah McFadden. I'm a huge fan of these Giants linebackers. That's a stick, baby. That's a stick. Micah. Oh, wow. This looks ugly already for the Bills. If I'm the Bills here, you're probably going to see a... Burns got there super quickly. Beat two guys. Dexter, or no, who's Quincy Nunez Roches. Third and 15. Ooh. All right, they stop him for a fourth. Wow. A great point from Carl Banks there saying Brian Burns almost sacked the quarterback, then ended up making the tackle on the guy down the field who caught it for the 10-yard game. All right, another commercial break here. Giants defense looked good against it's got to be like a very aged Mitch Trubisky at this point. Yeah, I mean, the Bills I think should have a. I know Josh Allen is reigning MVP, right? And he had a phenomenal season last year, but that stuff's last year, and I think he'll have another great season this year. But one thing that hasn't happened to Josh Allen, the way he plays and the way they use him in this offense, which is why he has rushing touchdowns as well, but they barrel him down the field. And at some point, people get injured, especially quarterbacks, right? Because they're usually taking blows, not giving them. That will add up at some point where he can't do that, and they'll have to adjust, which is why I wouldn't be like Mitch Trubisky. Like if something were to happen to Josh Allen, I guess their season would go up in flames. Like any of the top, best teams with the best quarterbacks. If you say their guy's gonna get hurt, it's gonna go up in flames regardless. But Mitch Trubisky probably isn't the backup that could lead them. It was interesting, right? Because didn't the Bears take Mitch Trubisky before Josh Allen in that draft, right? Because didn't Mitch Trubisky go like 2, which is funny, and then yeah, Mitch Trubisky, a UNC guy who is just had a big body, and they thought it could translate to the next level when it's like you need the boys from Wyoming. Like Josh Allen. Draft Josh Allen. What do we have here? Oh. All right. Jaxson Dart coming in. Backup offensive line in too. Stinny, Schlotman, Izudu. I love Izudu. All right. Jaxson Dart, man in motion. Balance out the field more. RPO right to Smith Marquette for a 9-yard gain. RPO. Little RPO. I think we're going to see a lot more of those this year. I also kind of like having more of a dynamic rushing attack now. We'll have 2 or 3 running backs under handoff or under center, hands off to Motor Singletary, just absolutely crushed behind the second line. That's why I like to see more guys step up in the second line, because it's like here's the thing with the Giants, man. Like if you're a backup, like you could fucking crack into the starting lineup if you play well and get better and develop. There are so many chances across the board to play on this team. There has been. But then you can build on it, become iconic. Look at Victor Cruz. Motor Singletary almost falls on a little inside zone where he breaks to the outside on 3rd and short, gets the first down. Jaxson Dart moves the chains. This was just always, looks like, it might have been a little, no, I don't think it was an RPO, because Jaxson Dart was just standing there flat-footed. I don't think he was had any intention of, read option. But Singletary kind of tried to cut off his inside foot and stumbled a little bit. Move the chains here. You got a traditional spread look here. Singletary on the left-hand side. Dart takes a snap, fake play action out route to, who's that, Greg Dulcich? He was claimed off waivers last year. He was hurt on the Broncos. He was, I think, there for a while. In the mix of this tight end group, again, another tight end position battle, right? Like Theo Johnson was the guy last year, but there's Ballinger, there's Manhurts, there's Dulcich, there's Fedone, who they drafted in the 7th round. So I don't know. I kind of like, none of them are that great, but I kind of like them. All of them individually. Oop. Dart steps up, makes a man miss, and then throws it to Dulcich, who gets crushed. But a little bit of an escapability there when Dart was found dead to rights off of a play action play. In a pistol set, looking at the replay here, no one bit on the fake, and you get pretty much a kill shot there on Dart, where he plants both feet, steps up, and I think he just wants to get it away, so chucks it to Dulcich as quickly as possible, and then next thing you know, 3rd and 3.
Saw a little bit of that in the Indianapolis game where the quarterback got knocked out because no one accounted for a defensive end running free. This one, the quarterback at least knew he was coming, was able to avoid it.
Yeah. Able to avoid getting absolutely killed there. Which is why you need a couple of good quarterbacks on your team, right? Like in the Colts game the other night, you had Anthony Richardson out there. They don't block someone running free. Guy in starting quarterback competition gets absolutely smoked. And now you're looking at Daniel Jones. We got our first draft pick, Penny, back in the mix over here, coming back to the couch. But good first drive, good couple plays here for Dart. They're making him read with a little bit of the RPO stuff, and then looks to be a lot of play action. So it's trying to keep the defense a little bit flat-footed, and then hopefully someone's open. But let's see what we got here in the 3rd and 3. Because the first traditional run where there was a handoff to Singletary, he got absolutely blown up in the backfield. So I don't know. Maybe they go over another run here or spread them wide. So Motor Singletary. I'm like blanking on who really like the other running backs because Gray was there, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard a peep from him. Eric Gray, after this time last year in preseason where he had almost like 100 yards and like looked really, really good. Yeah. Jaxson, Dart, do. Yeah, Zach Pascal. All right, let's see what we got here. 3rd and 3 coming up. Wow, yeah, the Bills need help on their defense too. They can't have all pro guys going down. All right, looks to be a little bit of a spread look. 2 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. Running back to the left. Tight end and wide receiver up top. They're changing the call. 10 seconds on the play clock. Takes a snap. Dart steps up and delivers a strike above Dulcich's head. Giants will punt. Dulcich was not really ready for it or looking for it. So, just trying to get timing down. It's a nice clean pocket. Yeah, he's got to have a better throw there for sure. There's Scottish Hammer. You guys know how I feel about the Scottish Hammer.
At the 21-yard line. Send it down to Bruce Beck for more on Kayvon Thibodeau, who's out there for pregame warm-ups. Bruce?
Hey, Bob, in his fourth year with the Giants, former first-round pick Kayvon Thibodeau will be grappling for sacks this year. Literally, number 5 and only 5.5.
Showing the highlights of Kayvon Thibodeau, just getting into mixed martial arts a little bit, doing becoming a wrestler. I kind of love that. I think if I could go back to my college years and while I was playing, if I could have done more stuff, I definitely would have 100% done more boxing stuff, because I think for an offensive lineman, boxing is incredibly important for your hand speed, right? Like, and it's just another part of being like a good athlete, right? The more sports and things that you could do on your body that's still, I don't want to say like tricking it or just keeping you athletic, is helpful, right? And you always want to be well rounded. I think guys, especially, just get so fixated on what their sport is. Trubisky just running for his life here. Josh Palmer's on the Bills. We got a live guest on the chat here. Brother Pat calling into the show.
Nice. What's going on?
We're on the live stream right now. We got Jaxson Dart. Moved the chains once, and then penalty on the Giants here. It looks like maybe the Giants got a... Oh my God. Abdul Carter almost had him dead to rights. That was great.
Is Scatterbo getting in there?
No, he's hurt.
What about
And then they threw a flag on 95 for trying to have a sack and finish it.
Neighbors playing?
No.
Are the tight end over receptions going to be a lock for week 1?
The Giants tight ends have probably had 6 receptions already.
That's just all they throw to is 3-yard checkdowns.
Yeah, the field seems this field seems a little bit. I mean, but this is just preseason. They have baseline plays, and they're like, I could complete a pass to the tight end without having to scan too far downfield and not make a mistake. The defense.
Jaxson Dart looking.
He looked okay. The last play was a 3rd and 3 where he just kind of rifled it over the tight end's head, but besides that, I think he's done a decent job so far.
He's getting the snap all right. No fumbles off the snap.
Yeah, no issues with the snaps today. I mean, the Giants' starting D is kind of in, and they look decently nice.
Is Jaxson playing the first half? Jameis coming in for the third to beat up for it?
I don't know. I don't know how it's going to break out, but he better get another drive. That's all I could say.
Yeah, but we need some good Hard Knocks highlights.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have watched the first Hard Knocks because the Buffalo Bills are on Hard Knocks, so I would have learned a little bit more about what's going on. I think there's 2 episodes already, but I've definitely missed both of those.
Is Josh Allen playing?
No. Mitch Trubisky was the original starter for the Bills here. So, Giants defense holds again in another punting scenario for the Bills, I would imagine. But if I was the Bills, I wouldn't be like that upset about how these drives have gone with my backups versus a non-Josh Allen versus the Giants starting defense, essentially.
Yeah. Is the over a lock in this game, then?
The over?
The under.
Yeah, it appears to be that way. The Giants went all the way down the field on the opening drive, and then they just had typical Giants holding, false start, and then next thing you know, you're kicking a 53-yard field goal.
Yeah, so they went for it on 4th and 1, but I can't figure out how to watch it.
It's on CBS.
It's on. I don't think it's on the app though.
Yeah. That was golf. A lot. The initiation probably had 100 G's. Yeah, and there's a pool. There's a whole like beach and pool scenario too.
Yeah, they definitely dog you on the Big Daddy too.
All right, we are back after a quick little hiatus there. You know, the baby bro called, so we got to talk to the above average bro. Yeah, but year 4 of the channel, I'm pretty pumped about it. You know, we've come a long way from where we started. And I really enjoy the live streaming stuff. I just need to, I feel like sometimes you just have to get more followers and just do it consistently to have it pay off. Because there were some times last year where there'd be like 10, 15, 20 people talking, which was awesome. Probably just more, I mean, obviously this is a preseason game on a Saturday afternoon. So let's see what happens once it gets started. But here we go. Second drive for Jaxson. Dart starts under center on the 20-yard line for the Giants. Dolchich in motion, play action, all day to throw for Dart. Pump fake, steps up in the pocket, gets about 2-ish yards, but I guess he didn't like what he had downfield. But great pocket from the G-men there. Great pocket by the second offensive line. I mean, it was a play action, so I guess guys were just hauling ass downfield and not rushing. But 2nd and 9 coming up. Looks like you got press coverage on the bottom of the screen here. And we're going with the under handoff here that's blown up. So the Giants' second team offensive line is really not getting much push on these rushes. Who is 25? Oh, nice. My boy Embo is in. He was a Giants draft pick this in this previous draft. I think he's like 6th round. So let's see how he looks. Seemed nice. Seemed like a good kid. You know? Again, to my point is like, bro, if you step it up and you play well, you could play on this team. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter where you were drafted from. Okay, little screen. that is just absolutely blown up down the field. Let's go. Moving the chains on a 3rd and long. Dart does a very good job of looking the secondary away. Just watching the behind version now. Obviously, guys getting free runners right through because of the nature of the screen. But Giants right back on the ball. 20 seconds on the play clock, about to snap it. So a little bit of tempo here. Dart takes a snap. Checks down to number 80, who makes a man miss it. He's going down the sideline. Oh, he stepped out of bounds, but number 80 with a little step back. Step back. Guy on the Bills tries to go high, steps under, breaks it right down the field. Just a quick 2-man route there at the bottom of the screen. Oh! And then was that DeMar Hamlin? He just broke the shit out of DeMar Hamlin's ankles. Wow. Again, great chance to put this on tape for number 80. Who's that? Smith, Marquette, or Pascal? Oh, true little run from Dart here. The Ole Miss special. Quarterback draw. Quick. Tuck and go. I'm sure he ran that a lot at Ole Miss. That's just a big college football play call when you have a quarterback who has a little bit of mass to him that wants to run. Looks like that's what the Bills do a lot of. So 2nd down, Dart takes a snap. Ball is batted at the line and almost intercepted. The refs wave it off. Great diving play by 44. Gregory Rousseau, I believe. So 3rd and 5. Let's see. Let's get a replay here and see. Embo gotta punch the D end in his stomach, get his hands down. Good play by the D end, knocking it away. 3rd and 5. Shotgun set. Not great. Blocks downfield, but Dart throws it deep for a touchdown. Giants. Let's go, and he takes the shot. Oh my God! Let's go! Oh my God! What a ball by Jaxson. Dart about to get hit. So jacked up. Everyone in the end zone. Dart pumping up the sideline. Let's go! What a ball. Under duress, about to be hit. Takes the shot. Boom. It's out. 81. Only where he can catch it. Makes the catch. 10-0 Giants. That warms my heart. Seeing the ball getting thrown down the field. Wide receiver. One-on-one. Make a catch. Something we haven't seen in quite some time. Wow. Lil Jordan Humphrey. You can make this team if you make plays like that. Let's go. Wow. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Wow, little Jordan Humphrey and Washington, big baller plays there. Big baller plays. Good ball by Dart. Pocket's not being great, but here's the thing. It's like QB1. Let's see. It could potentially be QB1. Damn, that was nice. And just little things to that, like give us a little glimmer of hope for the future. That's what I do like right there. Just seeing the ball go down the field, right? Like, I know it's a preseason game. I know it's whatever, but just seeing, a 30-yard pass towards the end zone. This is the NFL. Give the guy a chance, right? Like, and he did, and he made a catch. And this is a guy, Lil Jordan Humphrey, who wants to make the team. It's a tremendous catch by him. And if he could do that, I don't know, Darius Slayton going to do that? I don't know. Who's sneakily going to be one of Darius Slayton this season is going to sneakily be a top Giants receiver statistically of all time, probably after the season. He's going to be above Sterling Shepard. He's going to be above Victor Cruz, which is crazy because I feel like there were just so many seasons and times where he's just like, whatever, you know? But it just goes to show you, like, how short these guys' careers are where, you know, if you could just play in games, even if you have shitty Daniel Jones or Mike Glennon or Drew Lock's quarterback, like, those yards will stack up. So they're getting another replay here of the touchdown, but, you know, there's a free runner coming right at Dart. He takes the hit, and it's for the touch. I mean, this cannot warm my heart more because as a Giants quarterback, you're going to take hits. That drive, Dart, or so far today, he goes 6 for 8 for 91 yards on a touchdown. Shit, man. This is just warms my heart. This is what I wanted to see in a live football playing environment. None of the stupid training camp stats. And that was fucking awesome. Oh man. Just taking the hit, you're gonna get hit as an NFL quarterback. Is it gonna shake you? Is it gonna do X, Y, and Z? You're gonna stand in the pocket, you're gonna make those throws. Fuck yeah, Jaxson Dart, that was nice. Jaxson Dart, QB1. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you'll have Jameis play in this game. Like, do we need Jameis Winston to play in a preseason game? Because we know what Jameis could do. Jameis has been in the league. You know, he doesn't have 10 Pro Bowls under his belt like Russell Wilson does, but you know what Jameis can do. He's going to throw the ball a million. He'll break the fourth string wide receiver's fingers, by the way, how hard he throws it. Trubisky's still in for the Bills here, and then you got working against the Giants' second defense for a pretty substantial gain, about 30 yards to midfield. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine to see the Giants starting defense out. Let's just see what my boy Elijah Chapman. Oh man, I'm jacked up from that dart play. Deontay Banks in, so that tells you what they're looking for from him. Everyone else taken out from the game, from the first team defense. Deontay Banks, you need reps, bro. Stay out there. We're going to see what you got, man. What are you going to do? I did a video about Deontay Banks. If you want to, you can check it out. About, you know, it's a make or break season for him. And I think last year was a weird year for him that got off the rails because his boy McKinney was gone. Ooh, nice run for the Bills for a 12-yard gain. So, McKinney was gone. Wink Martindale was gone. So it was a big change for him. And I don't know, it was really, really weird. But the Bills going right down the field here with their drive already in the red zone. 1st and 10 on the 24. Let's see what the second team defense has here, if they could get a stop. Missed tackle again, another missed tackle, and another 9-yard gain. Definitely should have watched the Hard Knocks so I could see who these guys are. '43's got to make that play. Dane Belton also gets Little Boyd off him. Washington and Lil Jordan. Yeah, if Lil Jordan and Montreal Washington can make plays like that, who gives a fuck? Play them. Those are two big plays, man. That's what the Giants lacked so much in the last years, especially when 26 Saquon would go out of the game. No explosive plays. Ooh, great dialed up red zone play for a walk-in touchdown by the Bills. Play action to the right, tight end streaking across for a little back wheel route, and then he does a Lambo leap in. The Bills are wildly successful at making their tight ends available in the red zone, and that is a great dialed up play there. 49 does not run with him. Too busy looking at the quarterback on the play action, and it's just a walk in touchdown. Completely blown coverage. Is that Toman Fox? I don't even know who 49 is at this point, but. Okay, 10-7. What do we got? If you join in the chat, what do you think of the Jaxson Dart so far? Baby Bro said QB1. Absolutely could be possible. I do want to see Russell Wilson play a little bit, but it's going to be interesting for Dable, right? You know, if Jaxson Dart destroys it this preseason, then what happens if Russell Wilson looks shitty, and you're 1-3, right? Do you make a move that early? Or, what, it just depends on Russell Wilson's ability to win games early on, to be if he will stay as quarterback as not, right? Look at the Falcons last year. You watched a quarterback show on Netflix. You had Kirk Cousins that they paid 4 years, $160 million to, monster contract, right? And then they just get to a point where they were in the playoff hunt, right? And they said, Kirk Cousins gets hurt a little bit, banged up, not the Kirk Cousins who started the season. Then you go to Michael Penix Jr. versus the 12-2 Giants in your own house. It was an unbelievable smart move by them. I think they still missed the playoffs ultimately, but I think they were 8 or 9 win team. If the Giants are in the mix, Wilson starts looking bad, maybe they do the same thing there. But I think the Giants defense is good, man. Abdul Carter in the mix. Wish we got to see a little bit more from him. But Dexter, I think, as Giants fans, one thing I do want to note for Dexter Lawrence this season, enjoy him. You are going to see, I think, on tap, one of the best seasons by a Giants defensive player. Could be a top 5 season, right? Obviously, you've had Lawrence Taylor's, you've had Michael Strahan's, but Dexter Lawrence is special. And, it's funny because when you're younger and you're a kid and you're watching Giants, you get such a the lore of certain players, what they were able to do. And I think we need to appreciate Dexter Lawrence, what he's become, the respect that's given to him around the league, and what he's earned himself, right? Because, he wasn't that great when he first started, but he's developed into something special at a position that, you take him away, what do we even look like, right? So, got to appreciate it while it's here and enjoy every second of it. Go Vikings from Seth. What do you think about JJ McCarthy? I saw a little bit of negative feedback recently. So I don't know. Maybe the Vikings need a backup quarterback. Or maybe Kirk Cousins comes back now. They would never bring back Kirk Cousins. I think the ship had sailed. That wouldn't be the right thing to do for JJ. JJ McCarthy, missed all season though. Right? So yeah, I mean, you got to take these videos with a grain of salt too, but I think the media narrative originally was they did like JJ McCarthy on the Vikings, so you will see him get, a little bit of benefit of the doubt. I think if the media hated that pick and they hated JJ McCarthy, then you wouldn't. All right, Giants 1st and 10. But yeah, JJ McCarthy was an interesting guy because I thought the Giants were going to be interested in him. And they did interview him rigorously, and from a source that I spoke with personally about it, they had mentioned that the Giants front office really wasn't too thrilled with how that he did in their interview, and they didn't think very highly of him. But that's what it was said to me by someone. Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe give me some credit. But you know what? Here's the thing, man. You know, I don't know who their running back is on the Vikings at this point, but when you have a guy like Justin Jefferson, it's kind of like when Matt Ryan was on the Falcons, right? And you had Julio Jones. It's like, you got to just throw it up, give this guy a chance, say screw it. I have one of the best receivers of this generation on this team, and if he's healthy, throw it up to him. All right, Giants going backwards here. Shotgun on their 11-yard line. Dart takes a snap, looks left. Another batted down pass, but it's just more so batted down because there's a guy directly in his face. Sooners, Vikings, and Twins from Seth. Boomer Sooner. It's an interesting combo, I guess, if you're an Oklahoma Sooners fan. Yeah, no, dude, Justin Jefferson is one of the best wide receivers of this generation, man. Trust me, every time the Giants have played them recently, I'm always just like, oh, God. And then the other guy, Addison, was pretty good, too. Okay, 2nd and 17. Screen with a little bit of space. Giants get about 8-ish yards here, setting up a 3rd and 11, I believe. What do you got for the Vikings? How many wins this year? It's a tough division, right? Get the Packers. And the Bears are due to be good again, right? All right, 3rd and 12. Jaxson Dart. Dart takes a snap. Another screen coming up. Floats it over defender's head. And the Giants get the first down on 3rd and 12 by getting 13. Absolutely love it. Seth got the Vikings going 12 and 4. Wow, great throw by Dart. Oh man, I'm really loving what I'm seeing right now. And good play by 25 to get upfield quickly. 12 and 4. How Packers have a tough schedule? Good. It's about time someone gave them a tough schedule. I feel like they always have a cakewalk. Jordan Love, see what he could do. I always love that wide receiver that they have, Jaden Reed. Dart steps up, goes for a rush. Like a 25-yard rush, but there's a flag down. Name. Seth, if you don't mind me asking, are you subscribed to me from another stream, or did you just find me now? I feel like you might have came through last season. Also, Boomer Sooner, dude. Are they going to be any good this year? I don't really know. I haven't played with them in a new college football game much. I'm trying to experiment and play with as many teams as possible, but thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully we'll do some more live streams this year. Maybe I'll do some more like random Sunday night games that are just on for a little bit, because I think it's fun to have a national presence, or talk about some of the games there. But Jaxson Dart's looking nice right off the bat here, which I don't think there's going to be a quarterback controversy or anything, but how's Oklahoma looking? The Sooners. more football content if you need it. On Netflix has the SEC football show that just dropped. I watched some of the first episode, but I am so excited to have college football back. Sooners always go 6-6 every year. Boomer Sooner. Yeah, you know what? You guys had that great run of quarterback play of like winning the Heisman every other year, where you had Baker, Murray, and then Field. No, not Field. Why am I? Jalen Hurts. Hurts didn't win the Heisman though, right? Jalen Hurts didn't win a Heisman. No, he didn't win the Heisman, but I think he might have been up for it. But that's why I've always liked Jalen Hurts, because as much as I hate him because he's on the Eagles, I respect the hell out of him because he had the whole thing with Tua in the national championship game, and they kind of opted to go with him, and he transferred and went somewhere else, which he's always, I don't know, even now he gets a little like messed on Instagram for saying like all of his like quotes, but that's just the way all these guys are. They say super quotable, corny stuff, but like I don't know, he could be a douche and he's not. So I root for him, even except when he's playing the Giants. The Twins. How did the Twins make out this year? The Twinkies. Baseball, I feel like, is really weird. I'm a Mets fan right now, and everyone just, they're like, both New York teams are in a complete rut. Like the Yankees fans want to fire their manager. All right, 1st and 10, midfield, dart, play action, taking another shot deep, that incomplete. But Minnesota Twins look better because they're losing. Jaxson Dart just had one of the sickest throws as he was getting hit before. It was insane.
Nice.
For a touchdown.
Damn.
He actually looks like really nice.
That's awesome.
The Phillies on a run too. Yeah. You know who I was waiting to wake up? Was the Braves, right? That's a little RPO from Jaxson Dart right here. About 8-yard slant.
Is Dart wearing number 8?
He's wearing number 6.
Oh, that's 6.
I think Giants should outlaw 8 for a very long time. This guy looks good. He was who had Jordan Humphrey had the touchdown reception. If you can make plays and throws and get open in space. Oh, here comes my assistant, Penny, coming back to the stage here. She needs to get a new jersey because she got the Saquon one, which obviously we have to throw into the fire pit once we have that going.
I think Dart would be
Great
funny.
run here. Yeah, we could get a Dart one. I was thinking about getting one of the girls a nice Dart jersey though.
Yeah.
So, a lot of jerseys need to go around in this household. When we started the channel, we had nobody. Since we have 3 first-round draft picks, some with more fur than others. All girls, though.
Girls could be football fans.
Oh, yeah. Ellie could play flag football. Dart takes the snap, looks left, fires it over Lil Jordan's head. Maybe we could name our next child and put a Lil in front of it. Like, that's what Lil Jordan is his name. Lil apostrophe Jordan.
Like his legal name?
His legal name. What's your favorite football? Sorry, hold on. I don't know why my chat thing's being a little weird. I don't know why it's showing up weird. Hold on. Seth, I'll get back to you in a sec. I gotta look on my phone. I don't know why. I have the iPad out. Is your favorite football team Giants or Bills? I am a Giants fan. This is a Giants channel. Even though I kind of look like I'm pretty neutral right now. If you were just to look, but I respect the Bills. I mean,
Josh Allen is
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Oh, Jonathan Ward, that guy's playing well right now. Here's the thing with the Bills, the Buffalo Bills. They're New York's one true team because the Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey. So technically, Dart fires one on 3rd and 7, and he's not contained by Washington. Would assume you'll see the field goal unit here. So yeah, Buffalo fans are crazy. You know, it was a really funny video to watch. If you look at, there's a classic clip of Marshawn Lynch when he was drafted by the Buffalo Bills, and he's talking about getting off the flight, and he's like, "Where's the New York City skyline?" And it was just Buffalo, and it's a gray, miserable, snowy day, and he's like, Graham
did we miss that?
Gano
Oh my God.
just doinked it in. 50-yarder doinked in by Graham Gano.
How do you feel about Graham Gano? I'm curious.
I already spoke about it. I already spoke in
you did?
detail about it.
Well, give me the
No, I just loved when, like, because Marshawn Lynch is like, "Where's the skyline?" And they're like, "What skyline?" He's like, "New York City." They're like, "You're about 7 hours from that." Yeah, Jets play New Jersey too. Yeah, same stadium. So, you know, obviously this is a Giants channel. I'm a huge Giants fan. But I respect the Bills. I probably would hate them if I was the Jets and they were in the same division, right? Because Bills fans are crazy. But you know what? I respect Bills fans for really one main reason.
Yeah,
They went to 4 straight Super Bowls. So imagine your team was good enough to go to the Super Bowl 4 times. You're like, we gotta win one. They get smoked by the Cowboys. They play the Giants, and they lose to the Giants on a field goal, like a 43-yard field goal from Scott Norwood. Misses, like, it was a makeable kick. He missed wide left. I think they might have played like the 49ers one year and get smoked. And then I forget who else beat them. But that's a great 30 for 30 if you ever want to watch it, about the 4 falls of Buffalo. Because you just feel so bad and you have the empathy for them because it's like, damn, dude, like, I wish.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine getting to a Super Bowl. Once and losing is devastating. 4 times in a row, so your team was that good, and you can never get it done somehow, man. Like, that's got to be crazy. Because those guys in that team there are legends. And then they almost got back.
Have they won a Super Bowl in the last? Like, when was the last time? When was the last time they won a Super Bowl?
I don't know. The Vikings, Seth's team, the Vikings, have never won a Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
But Buffalo, they should have won at least one there, and you know, the odds, right?
Right.
So the Buffalo played Tennessee in an AFC Championship game, and they lost on the Tennessee Titans won when on a kickoff return they did a reverse throw across the field called like the Music City Miracle or whatever, and they ended up winning.
Wow.
But I mean, the Titans barely lost to the Rams on like one of the final plays of the game, which I went to that Super Bowl as a little kid. So both those teams will always have a special place in my heart. Yeah, the Vikings are always are a good team. They always go and make the playoffs. Yeah, that comes down to coaching. If they had a shitty coach or a bad coach, they wouldn't be in that spot. But Kevin O'Connell is clearly a good coach. He had Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold should be thanking his lucky stars that he got there at that point of his career last year because he just got a fat paycheck. I think he's on the Seahawks now. Oh, God, they just showed the first game for the Giants at home versus the Chiefs. I really hope they win that one. That'd be
awesome to start off beating the Chiefs.
Imagine.
But, the likelihood is, I'm not anticipating.
The Giants beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, and you say there's a new sheriff in town. That'd be awesome.
But I don't think it's a season ender if we don't win because...
The Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl the last 4 years.
Exactly. I don't want to.
But imagine those Chiefs team going to 4 straight Super Bowls and losing 4 times. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that last Super Bowl was brutal. The Eagles were just so good. I just found this thing.
Great.
Which was in here.
It was in the drawer.
Yeah. But going back to Graham Gano, he's made 2 50-yard field goals today, but if he's hurt, they shouldn't have him on the team.
Wasn't there a situation last year where it's like they needed a backup and they didn't have one or something?
No, Graham Gano got hurt on the opening kickoff of the game, so clearly he was hurt kind of going into it, but he should have been like, hey, like, I'm hurt, let's sign someone else here, so we're not going to miss 4 extra points in the game. I already spoke about all that. Yeah, Kansas City got smoked by the Eagles last year, dude. That was brutal. That was a weird time where a lot of Giants fans were like, I want to see Saquon win a Super Bowl. I'm like, I just don't ever want to see the Eagles win.
Yeah,
so
you're
I
very
was
anti-Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always be anti-Eagles. You never want to see.
No, it dropped.
No one. Hurts was touchdowns. Hurts isn't a bad fantasy guy because he gets all those rushing touchdowns. But like, as much as I like Saquon and he is a good person, and it's not his fault at all that the Giants failed him. He had a good enough of a season that didn't have to culminate with like him on the Madden cover hosting a Lombardi trophy. Because that was the absolute worst case scenario.
Knife in the gut. Knife in the gut.
Where they looked that was one of the most dominant seasons of all time. Offensive Player of the Year, 360 hurdle. Trubisky taking a shot downfield, one-handed grab by 82. Oh my God, what a catch!
I just hope somebody other than the Chiefs and the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl this year. Anybody else would be nice.
Right now in the East or the NFC, you really have the Lions who are need to run it back.
The Lions would make it
but their defense and injuries got piled up, which was fun to see them in the quarterback show. Jared Goff. But they'll be back. Cowboys are not making the playoffs. I don't know. They're in a really weird spot. Like the other day, Micah Parsons saying he doesn't want to play there anymore, and he's one of the best defensive players in the league. So I have no idea. Oh, they said it wasn't a catch. I have no idea what the Cowboys are going to do. Their offensive line isn't the offensive line of old. Who's their running back? I have no idea. I have no idea what the Cowboys are. I need to speak to a Cowboys fan and just be like, what are the like? They have CeeDee Lamb. Who else?
Best friends are Cowboys fans.
I know, but I haven't spoken to him about it because it's anytime really you see the Cowboys in the media, it's just them getting made fun of.
Isn't our opener usually with the Cowboys?
It used to always be, which is annoying. We used to always play the Eagles like 2 of the last 3 games of the season. Now they're playing them earlier, which is so much better. Like, why have divisional? Like, the games wouldn't mean anything the last 2 years when they played each other.
Right. I hope we can beat the Eagles at least once this year.
The Giants' record versus the Eagles is a joke right now. They've dominated them for the last 12 years.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Have we ever beat them in the last 10 years?
I think Tommy DeVito actually beat the Eagles maybe last year once.
Yeah. But I feel like that was like they already knew they were in. They didn't want to injure people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's like it didn't matter to them, so they didn't even show
up. All right, we got another Giants drive coming up here. 2-minute drill, 2.5 minutes to go. Let's see what they put together here. Little up tempo. Giants start at the 36-yard line under center from Dart. And a false start. Jaden Blue is the running back for the Cowboys. Who the hell is that? Is he from Texas, maybe? But yeah, I don't know. Jerry Jones, man. There's something going on over there. Fedone? Damn it.
What happened?
He just, I guess, had the false start. But he was a 7th-round guy who was from Nebraska, who was like a 5-star recruit or something, but he had 2 ACL surgeries in college, so didn't really know what he could do. But all right, 2nd and 15 coming up after a run that was kind of blown up. But here's the thing: if you're a 7th round pick and you really need to make the team, like if you start taking false starts and stuff, that's just not gonna work. Nice. Embo's playing right and left tackle. I kind of like Marcus Embo. Hope he does well. What else? So, what else? What are my other thoughts? Eagles always have great records. Yeah. I am still glad they lost that Super Bowl a couple years ago, but I really don't want to see them go back to back or turn into like a dynasty now, because that would just be absolutely devastating. But they have so much young talent. Like their GM has dominated drafts, and they have guys that they're not like paying gazillion dollars to. Like I think like Hurts, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown is like the equivalent of like CeeDee Lamb or something, like pay wise, which is just like absurd. Once you start doing that, and guys are getting discounts to just win, like it's like, oh shit, like. Especially in the NFL where it's such a me league, and guys, you have to get paid, right? But when they figure out a way to make it work strategically, that's when teams get really, really good. So, I need to start doing some research for fantasy football. I got the 11th pick in one league, which I have no idea who the hell is going to be the 11th pick. I haven't looked at all. I have no clue. What are consensus mock drafts? What other teams have a better defensive line than the Giants? That is a good question. Probably the Eagles. The Eagles have like all these stud defensive tackles that aren't Dexter Lawrence yet, but they're pretty freaking close. Like Jalen Carter, the other guy. There's just so many guys from Georgia on their D line that were like on those sick Georgia teams that won national championships. Who else has a good D line? I feel like the 49ers usually have good DNs. What kind of numbers does Burns need to put up to make his contract worth it? 10 sacks. Burns makes, I think, like $34 million a year. So he needs to have like 18 sacks. But hey, this D line is nice, and there's plenty of mouths to feed. So Kayvon is coming into a contract season. He needs to get double-digit sacks. Burns. Dexter had, like, for even getting hurt last year, I think he had, like, 8 or 9, which is crazy for an interior defensive lineman who's not a pass rusher. 2nd and 15 here. Spread offense from the Giants. Fake handoff. Dart steps up, delivers a strike for a first down. All right, we'll see the Giants get on the ball here, right around the 50-yard line.
We have 3 timeouts.
Washington making another big play, getting open, finding space. It's a great route by Washington. This guy's checking my boxes here. The average Bob boxes. 1st and 10, around the 50. Dart takes the snap. All day to throw. Another good strike downfield. Throws it a little bit high, so Washington has to make like almost a spinning catch, but Washington runs a perfect route and there's no one around him, so he has the time to do it. Chains move again. Ball on the 38. 1st and 10. Dart takes the snap, looks right, pumps it, checks down to the running back who gets 7. 2-minute drill still on here with a minute on the clock.
Don't they have 3 timeouts? Why are they not using any?
I think you just want to see how far you could go before you need to start calling them.
I guess it is preseason too.
Yep.
Posting out there, 2-minute drill.
All right. Dart takes a snap. Under handoff. You'll probably get a timeout after this play. Now you could start thinking you could call a couple different plays here. Third down coming up. Let's see what we got here. You got Dart on the sideline here with Dable and Kafka and their, and Russell Wilson. This is good learning. I wish I could hear what they're saying mic'd up to him right now so badly. But yeah, Brian Burns, he's got to have a baller year. I like him. He hustles, but I don't know. He's worth a lot of money, which is why they were able to trade for him. All right, 3rd and 5. Pretty balanced look. Running back on the right-hand side of Dart and shotgun. Dart takes a snap, it's looking right, delivers a strike to Washington, is knocked away from his hands by number 33. 4th and 5. Maybe they go, maybe they punt. Let's see the replay here. Ball's got to be, Washington, I wish he caught that. It was very close, but maybe the ball's got to be a little bit more outside.
Would they not go for it?
Field goal is coming up.
Yeah, field goal. I was going to say, you said punt. So.
Sorry. Graham Gano.
What is this, a 30, 45?
Yeah. All right, well,
51.
that's going to end our live stream for preseason game 1. I mean, I got to go back to the part about Jaxson Dart's touchdown. I was so jacked up to see that happen. I thought Dart looked really good. Giants' first team defense looked very strong as well. The O-line looked okay, except for a couple, shooting ourselves in the foot to stall out the first drive of the game. I think so far the first half of this game has gone really well for the Giants. So with that, thank you guys for tuning in. And be on the lookout for some content this week coming. We should be able to put some fun stuff out. So thank you guys again for watching and have a great weekend.